Welcome back to My Unpopular Opinion. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your post notifications on if you like my commentary. I want to get on here and talk about a few things, but first, I want to talk about Nicki Minaj. But before I start talking about her and how she has the girls shook with her distraction that she sent out, which is her album Pink Friday 3 that's going to be released, we don't know. I want to talk about Ziegman Official, how they made her another outfit. First of all, I love their designs. I discovered them a few years ago when Nicki dressed for Halloween as Cinderella, and they made her Cinderella dress, and she talked about the ugly, evil stepsisters. I loved that dress on her. I loved how they made that, and they did like their own Nicki Minaj spin on the dress. They had the butt cut out. It was so cute. The shade of blue was so Cinderella. Nicki killed that shoot. And then recently they made her a pink dress that she's been wearing when she performs Barbie World. I like that. And now I'm loving this red dress that they well, it's not a dress. It's a I guess leotard, French cut leotard type style thing. But I love it. I love the fit, love the colors. Like they are some fire designers. I know they've made stuff for other celebrities like Grandma B and people like that, but Nicki just eats it up when they make it for her. So anyway, that's what she has on right here in this clip. Moving forward, so the streets are talking about how Nicki has botched body B, Miss Brow Lift B, Miss Rib Removed B, Miss Balloon Booty B. They're talking about how she is shook because, she's been talking about how she wants to release her album. And Nicki is now talking about how she is potentially releasing an album herself. And we also know that Community Coochie Megan also said that she has a second installment of her trash album that she let me stop, of the last album that she released or whatever. I guess she has a second installment to it, a part 2 or act 2. It's so funny how they're constantly trying to correlate her to Grandma Beyonce. Beyonce does act 1, 2, 3, whatever, and now Horsey Bigfoot is doing Act 2. Act 2 of what? Act 2 of, we don't even know what the act is. The butterfly, the snake, the egg, like the horse, the foot. Like, what is this an act of? But anyway, we know that their labels and the girls themselves are shook because they don't want Nicki to potentially sabotage their releases. I mean, if Nicki Minaj drops on the same day as you, that's like a big problem for you, especially these flops. Like that's a huge problem for those girls. So Cardi, we know that the time is ticking for her. If she waits any longer to release her second album, it's been so many years and she still has not released her sophomore album. So following Nicki talking about her releasing Pink Friday 3 whenever she feels like releasing it, Cardi came on like kind of subliminally going off saying like, and I'm stumping on next with this and that and da da da. Stumping on what? I think she probably feels like because whatever she's been working on, I kind of feel like she's gonna have like Chinese Kitty Little Kim on her album or something, like she did a collaboration with her, which we know they were in the studio at some point out of desperation. After Megan put Chinese Kitty Lil Kim on her remix and then didn't even post the song or delete it or something. She didn't even post the song and it just sounded a mess. On plan, I think it was Plan B, and Chinese Kitty got on there, Chinese Kitty Kim. But after that flop happened, Cardi decided to snatch up Chinese Kim and put her on something. So, and I feel like that's probably why Offset the Cheater has been wearing a shirt that has one of Little Kim's many faces on it. We don't even know which face that was or what year that was because we can't keep track. But nevertheless, they always try to use Kim against Nicki as if that is like a real weapon or something. Nicki ended that girl years ago. That was one of the first girls she ended. She ended Kim before she ended y'all. So she's still working on y'all. It's just so funny because Nicki gives these girls hell. She give them hell, and I love every minute of it because when you despise someone and they don't like them being successful, just bothers you so bad, But it's just hilarious. So I think that Cardi probably feels like she's really going to make an impact because she's got people like Kim and whomever else she probably has recruited to be on her project. But we don't know if the project will ever see the light of day. Now, I also saw some blind items going on about Botch Body B, and this time it wasn't about her getting surgery. Usually she's being popular for getting surgery, getting cheated on, getting pregnant, or going off on somebody. But now they're talking about on TikTok, a blind item was they call her Nip Tuck, and they said that Cardi is potential. I mean, we know that her label is not pleased with her, but they were saying that her label pretty much came to the realization that she was a science experiment that went wrong, like an experiment or a product that they pushed, obviously to try to launch against Nicki, and they thought it was working in the beginning. They put so much money behind it, and they have not reaped much of that money back, obviously. And so we see that she's not really in good standing with her label. She's not. That's why she's always in court, because she's always trying to get money so that she can kind of pay her label. And speaking of not paying, it's so funny how she tries to talk about how rich she is. She's so rich and this and that. But a landlord is saying that in Atlanta, saying that she did not pay them. I think it's like what, 20,000, 10,000, something like that, and she didn't pay the money to utilize that home. And this is not the first time that somebody has come out and said that Cardi and Offset have not paid their bills. So it's interesting how Cardi lives in a glass house. She's always, throwing stones, but babe, I don't know. Something's looking real fishy with those finances and with that label, okay? So I'm really intrigued to see, is she going to drop her album, or is she going to try to stall it more and more? Because we know that for the longest time, she's been terrified to drop an album anytime that Nicki is talking about dropping hers. So I'm really not sure about that. Lastly, I want to discuss, I'm not going to really be long in this video. I just want to touch on a few topics. I want to talk about how Nicki never lies, okay? Nicki Minaj always comes out, tells the truth. People call her crazy, and then in the end, we end up seeing that it was the truth, okay? She's not been proven wrong not one time yet. Everything she said about Mooseface Jay-Z was the truth. And I'm so happy that Eve came out and validated what Nicki said. I think he has an issue with women. I don't know if it's a mommy issues, but he has an issue where he wants to control and dominate women. And every woman is not your wife. Everybody is not Grandma B, where they just let you manipulate and get all up in their brain and do whatever. Because he just uses Beyonce as a tool, in my opinion, against other people and, as leverage in the industry. But that, he obviously has an issue with successful women. When Eve was reaching her success, he reached out and gave her a backhanded compliment, pretty much like, oh, you doing your thing, but it doesn't last long for female rappers. And is that your problem, Jay-Z? Did you not ever want it to last long for female rappers? I think he sees the excitement, and he's always seen the excitement that people have around female MCs. And when like Foxy was out, he brought her in, and then he sabotaged her career allegedly and ruined her career, right? So someone like Nicki coming out, him not being able to touch her really in any way is so bothersome for him. Like, it really, really, really bothers him. So I'm happy that Nicki told the truth, and it was proven right and validated by other people like Eve. Also, what she said about the Super Bowl, people are like, he doesn't even get to choose, he doesn't get to pick. People who work with him and people who work for the NFL and the Super Bowl, all that stuff, they came out, multiple people came out and said that he is the person who makes those executive decisions. So stop always trying to discredit Nicki. It's never going to work. If you don't like her, you just don't like her. But whether you like her or not, she's never gonna lie. And I think it's time that you guys wake up and stop lying on her. Okay, I also wanted to talk about Doja Cat. I don't really talk about Doja Cat much on my channel, because she really tries her hardest to kind of stay out of the public. And right now we know she's laid up with a white man, her special, that's her favorite, okay? That's her fetish, white man. But she's been laid up with him, the actor, right now. So she's not really trying to be seen or talked about too much. But she is another problem, I think, in this industry that they're trying to use as well. Because there's no reason why her Spotify numbers continuously rise even when her music is not even out. Now, does Doja Cat make pretty good music? She does, but if you look at the sales from her last album, sales, streams, all that kind of stuff, it's just not adding up or correlating. Something's really fishy. Something ain't clean in the buttermilk with Doja Cat. And we know that from all her last, album and all the evil demonic stuff and demonic imagery that she was doing. So we know something ain't right with her spirit. But now I'm starting to think, like, are you getting a huge Spotify deal or something where your label really wants you to look like you're the most powerful on Spotify? You can't sell 6K on your album and then think that you're going to be the leading female rapper on Spotify. And I also get sick of certain YouTubers trying to gas her up all the time, like, oh, and she's this and she's that. It's like, she's okay, she's a good performer and everything like that, but I'm sick of people considering her a female rapper. That I just don't know about. I don't know, if something about it is unsettling. And I'm not a Doja hater at all, but calling Doja a female rapper, it just doesn't sound right to me. I don't know why. I don't know. So guys, that's all I have for this video. Let me know down in the comments what you think about these topics, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.